I'm trying to. Well, give me a second. I gotta move this holder here. But yeah, so we'll see if we get more a guest. I intend on having a guest tonight. I sent out the link. Maybe he's busy, maybe not. I was talking to myself for a few minutes. Welcome to the hotbox here. All right. So, what'd you guys think of the Lorwyn break? I thought it was interesting. Nothing really great, but I really did think that those. What is going on? Hold on, hold on. What? Okay. I don't know what my phone was playing, but it was playing some like commercials or something. Weird, weird. That really messed me up and threw me off my game. Okay, but you guys can hear me, right? I'm not just like talking to myself over here. I never know if I'm talking to myself until I get some interaction from the crowd here. Jeez. Okay, okay, okay. Thank you, Paul. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so I don't know. Prime, Kylan, they both they got the links. If they're available, they'll pop in. Otherwise, it's just gonna be me having a smoke for a few minutes, and then bouncing out. Right? Like I got the flea market early in the morning tomorrow, guys. Cheers. Yo, that was a fun battle. What a great movie, Aliens. You know that movie like was very nostalgic to me. I remember watching that so many times as a kid, you know? Yeah, something like that, Paul. Maybe 7:30. It depends on when I get done like looking through all the stalls and doing my filming, and then I get to my live stream. I have to make sure that the filming is done, you know? I have to catch up on my editing of flea market videos. I got three in the clip ready to go. Only one was successful. However, I'm leaning towards the second channel that's just flea market, and those unsuccessful ones, you know, it's just another video on that channel, right? I'm gonna. It's not like yeah, I hunt for magic when I'm at the flea market, but in that second channel, it's not gonna be the only focus of what I'm looking at. Um, I'm not gonna be looking for any other stuff. However, I will highlight other things. I tend to doing a lot of shorts of stuff that I find unique, you know, items or things that I just find entertaining. Your shorts are kind of a crazy thing. So when I do like an opening, right, like that Legends pack, it's going to be a video and it's also going to be a short. The same crowd does not watch the videos and shorts. There's very few crossover percentage. It's really mostly look. I'm talking not talking about you know people like Paul who support uh you know when I make stuff. I'm talking about random viewers of my videos. It's very different. The video crowd and the short crowd, completely different people. Will I be in Japan the first Saturday of next month? No, there will be one more live stream. There will be another box break, maybe other type of battles or something. Then, because I'm trying to raise money for Final Fantasy, so that's going to be interesting too. Because again, I'm going to be arriving in Japan at 9:40 a.m. on release day for Final Fantasy. I have to get from Kansai Airport to Hareruya in Osaka by 11 a.m. because that's when Hareruya opens on release day for Final Fantasy. Most stores sell product on pre-release, but they also hold some for release day. Now, if I am unsuccessful getting there on time, I do have friends who may be able to stand in for me online or, you know, start talking to the people about what the deal is with the promos and how much product that they have. I'm going with a wad. I intend on buying tons of Final Fantasy. Yeah, Michael, Stefan, the stats show it, completely different crowd, and so when I make flea market videos now, especially on the second channel, there's gonna be a video, and then there's gonna be a bunch of shorts from each one. Will this be English Final Fantasy or Japanese language Final Fantasy? Good question, Shadowclad. That's why I'm going to Hareruya, and my second choice is Big Magic at 1 p.m. These are the bigger stores, the ones that will have English product compared to the other stores. If the Japanese language one has something special in it, like War of the Spark, I may be buying that. Um, if I can't get what I want in terms of collector packs, I may buy a bunch of um, play boxes just for the promos. I'm really hoping they come in their own wrapper, like box toppers, because the Chase promo is supposed to be really rare, 1 in 2,000, like made, you know. Hey, do you have a website for them? What do you mean? Website for what? Hi, what are you live streaming? I'm live streaming smoking in my car talking about Magic. Hi, I'm new here. I just got a live MTG thing recommended live. So what's this about? Hey, nice. How you doing, Oscar? First, let's take another poke. So I just streamed. We did a box break of Lorwyn. I got my 5,000 subs, so I opened the Legends pack, and now this is the after party chilling part of the thing. So, the websites, yes, I do. Actually, Paul, you and I should talk. We can take a look because there will be discrepancies in some prices. Some things you might be able to get cheap there, even if it's a $5 for a $20 card. Stuff like that exists. Deals like that exists. So we can take a look at their inventory and maybe identify some targets. Um, and then there's the whole currency exchange. So it's 1.5 basically. It's 1.5 dollars to our dollar. 100 yen used to be kind of like a dollar. A yen used to be kind of like a penny, but it's not anymore. It's 145 yen per dollar. So it's gotten weird. When I was um 19, 19, like 2001, 18. No, 19 turning 20. I went to Japan and the rate was like 92 yen per dollar. So their money was more valuable, like a yen was more valuable than a penny. And then I went again and it was like 106, some crap like that. So now, man, it's gonna be like 140. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be like the whole country's on sale by 40%. Okay. Yeah, Paul, that's we'll talk about that. Like the Art of Lorwyn, but seems like a small set. What do you? Oh, you like the art on Lord, but it seems like a small set. It's not that small. It's just you get duplication on old boxes like that. The zombie token might be able to find over there cheap. I am not gonna look for individual cards unless I know they're in stock at the store. So for keeps, if you look at Hareruya and we talk, and there's a card that they have in stock, we can, you know. One cards, is that a place, Paul? I'm curious. I intend on picking up play boxes with promo packs for patrons. Um, I'll only do it for a few patrons, and it's gonna be for okay, Lorwyn said, and it's only gonna be for especially the like OG patrons like Paul and Shadow Cloud. Um, it's going to go by seniority. There will probably be 4 to 6 slots. We'll see what the value is, what we have, what we can do. We'll see what we can do. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to do what I can do in Japan, but we'll see what we can do. Japan eat. I've seen that. Yeah, man. I look. I I would be lying if I didn't say. Is that right? I would be lying if I did. Whatever. I do. I would like to move there eventually, for what it's worth. I would be lying if I said I didn't. I've been going there since I was little. My first trip, I was it was 1989, so I was probably 5, 6. So that's when I turned 6 was in '89. So 5, 6. We went to Tokyo Disney. Went to Japan again. I forgot how old I was. I know I went again as a teenager, and then at 20, then 30, and then in 2019, and now. So, and then as a kid, and so 2 times as a kid. So that's 7 times. All right, that's pretty sick. All right, I can have a road trip there. Where are you gonna have a road trip? Few pins, Japan only. Interesting. I didn't know that they had Japan only pins. That's curious. Yeah. So it's it's interesting. I enjoy the food. I tell you the truth, and the fact that it's so cheap. The food, it's like if you were eating out in America, right? Like, how much would it cost you if you went to a deli in the morning for a bacon, egg, and cheese, right? 5, 6 bucks. And then went to, let's say, Wendy's or something for lunch, or a small restaurant or a deli for a sandwich, right? That's another, what, 10 to 20 bucks. And then at night, let's say you order food. Let's say you order a pizza, another 20 bucks. That's kind of really bad eating, but it's not an example of what I eat. I cook most of my food and I have fruits and vegetables. But let's just use that an example of eating out and about, not necessarily good food, just eating while you're out, right? That'll run you like 50, 60 bucks, man. 20 bucks in Japan will get you a freaking satchel of food from the convenience store, and it's some sick stuff. So, the difference in between just living over here and over there is kind of crazy in terms of what it's going to cost. And on top of that, you don't need a car because you can get anywhere on foot, like on foot. I was thinking about Nintendo World. I don't know. There's a couple of days, like two, that are gonna be free days. I have to hang out with some of my friends. There's a two family friends. One, I can remember when we were young, like his kid is one of my best friends in the world, right? So when we were young, he's my age. He actually was in between me and my brother, and so when we were young, we'd hang out together, and his parents would babysit us, and my parents would babysit him sometimes, right? And I can remember his pops taking me to Mr. Arcade in Rockland, the freaking arcades, man. And yeah, he was a good guy, and so I I saw him in 2019. We had a great. I actually saw him for Thanksgiving. We had fugu. Fugu is the puffer fish, the poisonous, right? And yeah, he's not healthy. Dude was given 6 months, 6 years ago. So I gotta check him out again before something happens. Another dude is on his way out as well, and he's a family friend that's known my parents longer than they've known me. So that's kind of crazy. Uh, yeah, stuff like that. So there's gonna be a lot of time spent like going to like a izakaya and having a couple of drinks with these guys, stuff like that. So this is gonna be an interesting trip. And then I'm definitely going to Kyoto, of course, because I got the All Japan Rail Pass. If you are a tourist only, you're allowed to get a pass whereupon you can go on any train. Well, any train run by JR Rails in the whole country. Meaning, and they own like Shinkansens, the bullet trains as well. Meaning you can go from top to bottom in the country, different place every day for however long your pass is, and you can use the bullet train, and it's not going to cost you a lot of money. It's not going to cost you any money except for the pass that you already paid for. So that's kind of crazy because the bullet train can be very expensive per one way. It's only for tourists though. This pass. So yeah, if you ever go to Japan, get like a 2 week all rail pass, and you can go from like the northern regions all the way down through the big central part of Japan to the bottom islands and experience the like Hawaii version of Japan. You know what I mean? Thumbs up if I'm still good because the events like the 2020 Tokyo and the 2025 World Expo in Osaka, that all these places um, have really updated how they deal with travelers and tourists. Want to open some dark, no doubt. American public transport is so bad compared to literally everywhere else in the world. Well, Republic, that's because we have made ourselves beholden to the oil companies. I mean, we drive around machines that run on explosions that we sucked out of the earth, and then we drive on top of freaking some more of that same chemical. As asphalt is oil companies as well, guys. Don't fool yourself. Like, this is all them. It's ridiculous. The Eisenhower and the oil companies shaped America. Now we have this weird highway system and like focus on just burning cars in our giant automobiles with huge diesel engines. Anyway, don't get me started on that. Go to Europe, go to anywhere else in the world, and you see some pretty crazy public transport. I love running on explosions made from dead dinosaurs. You know, I used to love my Supra, so I'm not going to blame anybody who likes to drive. Like, I used to love the same thing, so what are you going to do? It's where we're at. It's if you look at a rail map of Europe or Asia, like, it's crazy looking. And then you look at America, it's just like a couple of lines. It's so crazy looking. Like, check that out one day. Look at rail maps, compare America to anywhere else in the world. It's madness, I say. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the best aspects about going to Japan. You don't need to really plan things. If you have that rail pass, you could just be like, "Yo, I want to go to Fukuoka and get some freaking ramen down there." Yeah, Superbacker. It's crazy how things have changed in our country. We used to have rail barons, and like, what happened? All after cooking is turned into fuel here. That's sick, Republic. Yeah, I like that. I actually was doing stuff with biodiesel 25 years ago. Like, I was doing some research, and it's a long story. Anyway, I was into biofuels for many years. I appreciate when people do stuff like that with waste and they turn it into a fuel. Dead dino juice, WTF? Yes, hairless psychedelic apes just flying down the highway at 90 miles an hour, like with crazy amounts of newtons of force. Like, it's ridiculous. We only use rail for freight. Amtrak is dead, yo. I took Amtrak once, but again, that was like 15, 20 years now. Crazy. The trains in Boston are always breaking. The AC breaks. Yeah, yeah, it's crap. Like, I don't know, it's just weird. Like, everything's cleaner over there too. Biofuels are excellent. Indeed, they are. I like how waste can become fuel. Yes, Jeff, man. You don't know how many times I keep on discussing, and like, I need to go and grab a bag of chips from you. We're not talking about potato chips, guys. I want to start just doing some processes up here. There's some that I can do that are relatively benign of, of the reaction and the fumes, and then we'll figure out the next steps. I saw a video where in Japan, I believe there is a wall, so you don't fall on the tracks. When the chain comes, it opens up. Yeah, 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 yeah. I have some chips that you want. Yes, you do, Paul. Mm, that's I guess, the science brain. I got the science brain and the card brain, the cardboard brain. Yeah, man, I really want to start working on that stuff with you. So here, might as well talk to you about it a little bit. So what I wanted to do was, so there's like levels, you gotta pull off the metals, and then you gotta refine the metals, and then you gotta re-refine the metals. What I wanted to do was do an experiment where I pull off the metals and then, go through it to get a yield. So you got like a theoretical yield for the rest of it. But then I want to just go through a lot where I'm just doing that first step where I'm pulling off the metals. I'm freaking generalizing like crazy here, and like just make up a big stock of that and then do bigger refinings, instead of these little ones. Like, it's just makes sense to me that way. Those barriers that prevent you being iso isekai. Oh, yeah, yeah. So in Japan, there's a lot of issues with people killing themselves in the trains too. I have some fuzzies, which are apparently also 35 to 40%. Oh my god. Yeah, I know you get this guy gets sick material. I did New York to San Fran by bus and train. Better to drive, I think, so you can see more stuff. Did California's effort. I actually drove to Colorado and back once, and you're right. When you can stop and like just take a day. Like when I went to Yellowstone on that trip, um, I stayed an extra day at in Cody, Wyoming, just going to Yellowstone because it was worth it, and you can make that decision um if you're driving. And Republic, for some of it, yes, electrolysis, and that's the first step. You do the electrolysis on a ton of it and gather that material and then refine. And that's what I'm saying is I want to do a bunch of it first instead of just like the small batches. So, but first you have to prove and get a yield, like there's a theoretical yield, then there's a practice yield, and got to get close. That's about it. It's no different from any of the other chemistry I do. It's just different materials, and there's different safety concerns in terms of fumes, and that's after the electrolysis when you're when you're doing especially the refining part. A full metal. Just a couple of medals, that gold and the silver. Breaking Bad Ed was when I was distilling CBD. That was fun. They cut that program. It wasn't. It was in the middle of COVID. With some really nice apparatus, and got some great results. Yeah, that was fun. That was interesting. Uh, Platinum, palladium, good bets to buy in on as well. Yeah, actually, there's a ton of that stuff in all these chips. It's not just gold. These golds have mixed metals, depending on what type of chips you're talking about. I'm sure Jeff can chime in because he has been buying, collecting, sorting, dissecting, photographing. Like, he's been studying these chips for a few years now, like intensely. And he's like a like a dragon on his hoard of gold, but the gold is in computer chips. It's great. His house is full of freaking like crazy computer parts, man. I've only been getting gold back, but I need to learn to get the other precious metals. Oh yes, Jeff. Oh yes, you're missing out on a couple of good things there, and you know it. And I know the yield isn't huge, but it adds up, and especially the silver. You know, like silver's coming up. Paul. So would older chips produce a bigger yield, generally speaking, but not always. For industry as well as jewelry too, of course. Older the better, but at the same time, there are a lot more reuse. Yeah, see, that's the thing that he does. That's even smarter than just liquidating it all. It's freaking. He picks out the like good and rare stuff, and you know, sells it to collectors of good and rare stuff. Take care for it keeps. Like anybody that's into any type of freaking collecting or like category. This guy is like, the professional when it comes to knowing what he's looking at when he's looking at a circuit board. I still find it absolutely astounding that you can draw a few lines in metal. Like if you look at the actual what the if you zoom in on the silicon chip and you look at the actual architecture of what's going on in there, it is really crazy that a few lines in metal do all this type of stuff. Hey, there he is, Bobby. How you doing? Good to see you. We opened some interesting stuff tonight. Opened some miscut cards from Lorwyn. Very cool. Opened a Legends pack. Very painful for 5,000 subscribers that we reached today. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's kind of crazy. If you dissolve platinum to make chloroplatinic, yeah, the platinum is worth a lot more as chloroplatinic acid. But Casey, the difference though between making chloroplatinic acid and chloroplatinic acid reagent grade is very great. Ah, yes, Bob. So when I came back in 2007 for Shards of Alara, because I was interested in mythic rares and the set with all gold cards, as in multiple, colors at once, right? Um, when so I came back for that, and then opened a few boxes of shards, and then I was like, "What else is around?" I went backwards a year because I was like, "Ooh, Planeswalkers, first time, very interesting." And I opened a box. And I pulled the Thoughtseize foil. Very sick. I did not see that. Wubby, he's one of these guys that's I don't know. It's like a new to the game, and the knowledge is it's like he's just winging it at a bunch of old stuff. Gold is greater than treasure because you don't have to tap. You know, gold, man, with its crazy price. Yeah, I really got to get on that, Jeff. I've had no time, but like, there's some things we should be doing already, and it's crazy that we haven't. And you sending out the stuff like those refiners are getting a hell of a deal. 25% and all the silver, palladium. Before you move to Japan, get some gold. And then freaking swallow it on my way in so I don't have to report it and poop it out. Gold smuggling. Get out of here. But yeah, I do have to do that. I have to refine all of your stuff, man. Like it's been on my mind. And I think the time is coming near for me to pick up some. Actually, that's a great freaking point. I just bend it into like just like a crude ass That's a really good point, man. Nobody's gonna look at a necklace, and especially in like a country like Japan, there's plenty of people all the time walking in with like pounds of drip. You know what I mean? Like just hanging off them. That's Japan's like the cool place to go nowadays. So everybody and their mothers going, and all the YouTubers are going and causing a ruckus, and it's a different place now than it used to be. But hey, I'm gonna film when I'm there and live stream, so I guess I'm just as guilty now. Yeah. I'm going to the World's Fair though. I am very curious to see that. Swallow lay some golden eggs. Some Ikoria sleeve boosters for fun instead. Yeah, I don't know about that. Ikoria blisters. I have my few of Ikoria collector's blisters. Again, I collect every single collector edition. I buy a few blisters, one for the wall, and two that I'm gonna open one of every collector pack in blister form when they stop collector packs, because they eventually will. They always stop every product. Eventually, they cancel it. Booster packs, fat packs became other things from the vault, world championship decks, tournament packs, starters became tournament packs, which I guess, but tournament packs. Um, Play boosters? What did they just kill? They killed draft. Oh, draft and set, which became play, right? So, like I'm saying, every single product will get canceled eventually. It's just the way it is. So when collector boosters die, I'll be able to open one of every one in blister form twice, which is kind of cool, you know? From the vault, what a great product. The two I have, the two you gotta get, the best two are, although there's one or two more that I should get. The best two, of course, relics, and then right below that is the lands, the realms. Good product. Collectors are too profitable to squeeze out, though. What do you mean, like to just open them like that? The problem is the rate of change is increasing at a detrimental pace. The instability is off-putting even for content creators. Nobody can track everything anymore. I agree, Bob. You have to look at some and just be like, I don't like it. I'm very minimally interested in it. So I'm just gonna like touch the basic information and then be done. Ah, collectors are too profitable to squeeze out of the product line. Yes, Casey, until they aren't, until they have a better idea. You'll see. Again, they have canceled every single product that they've ever made has stopped at one point and or uh, morphed completely into something else. And at that time, that's when I'll open them. So even if it's been years and I don't have a channel, like as in I make the rare video once in a month. Even this is like years, and that's what happens. I I will still make a video of that because that's gonna be freaking cool, no matter what. The channel will be around. I will still make a video of that. Before universe beyond packs, yeah. So um Spider-Man popped up on Game Nerds. I shared it on my Patreon. If you're not my Patreon, my Discord. So if you're on my Discord, you got notification and may have been able to get in. I got 2 boxes of Spider-Man coming. It is nearly impossible at this point to recommend the starting point for people new to MTG. Bob, you're almost better off asking, what do you like to watch or what are you into? Oh, you like the Princess Bride. I got a product for you. Like, silly. Big Mike, how you doing? It is news story for him to add the autographed sketch cards and collectors. Paul, that is totally coming. Come on, 105. They did it in the 90s for comic cards, right? Did they have that freaking drawings and like individual drawings done by real artists? It's not a crazy idea. The artists do it all the time at conventions for people on world championship cards. Why wouldn't they just stick one into a wizard's suddenly $10,000 instead of like the $100 that someone paid for it? Aliens crossover with Edge of Eternities. Yes, Casey. You know it. You know that's what I was hoping for too. Clicking Silver Age booster boxes. Price is low now. Get a scourge. Got a scourge box coming. Listen to this man right here. That's it. We've been opening Mercadian masks on this channel, right? And you know what it's made me realize? How shallow the supply is out there. That's that's what that's making me realize. Okay? Like I went through 5 of these boxes. Prices have changed. I think less would be there's more for WotC at this point. For MTG, I think less would be more for at this point for MTG. If I could say one thing to WotC, it would be slow down. I agree, Bob. Like it's hard to stop. Uh, um, I mean, you can't stop the immovable. What is it? The unstoppable force and immovable object. You don't want to become one or the other, right? Can't see 500 a box being sustainable. But it's not, is it? Because you can play boxes, right? And they're a lot cheaper, so it's not really because that's just like the special edition. I, and that's the point of Magic, right? Is that you can always play the cards. It's not Pokemon. Capitalism, bro. They keep the train going until the wheels fall off. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. It's gonna become a train wreck, and I think that's what I agree with Bob. Like you can churn through stuff so fast that you become Fortnite with new stuff added all the time and always changing environment. Like, and just for like a 2 second thrill, like, I mean, really, that's what it seems like to me. Can't stop the juggernaut, but they did. Yeah, I agree with that, Casey. Like, you don't want to become one or the other, is what I'm saying. Because you don't want to be on the run all the time. You want to be able to chill the F out. And I think the old school way of doing things, 4 sets a year, may have been a little too slow. Hey, you could bring that up to 4 sets a year with like a special product, and that would have been fine. And you would have been able to make magic and make good magic for a longer amount of time. But this is like it's kind of crazy. Where the frog walks. That's a good one. Yes, indeed, right? Um, but really, guys, like how much universes beyond is out there? It's so much. There's so much content. If they start doing anime stuff for real instead of just this Hatsune Miku secret lair, if they start doing universes beyond Naruto, universes beyond I don't know Dragon Ball, but they have their own game, so more like the universes beyond Neon Genesis Evangelion. Like when they do that type of stuff, like That's kind of sick, but it's also where it's heading and a sign of the sickness of universes beyond. Uh, People steering the ship at Hasbro only care about next quarter profit. What's an executive's average time on company or switch to another business? Yeah, no, that was totally Cynthia Williams. Magic lost the stories. Yeah, totally. When you okay, when you had the block system, you had the intro set. Oh, like this is what's up. The crescendo where all the battles come to a peak, and then the peak and fall for the final set. You had a natural progression of the story, and even when they cut it to two set blocks, both of the Gatewatch and Battle for Zendikar, both of the Gatewatch, Kaladesh, Ether Revolt. Oh, I can't say Kaladesh. Sorry, sorry. Anyway, even then it was like, half the story, other half of the story. You had time and you could see like a natural progression. Now, they call them hat sets apparently. I was reading an article that said this. I'm like, I've never heard anyone say that. But anyway, just because you do a costume change. Here's my cowboy hat. Oh, here's my space hat. Oh, now I got my racing helmet on, like, and it's the same characters, you just throw them into different situations. I don't know. It's kind of funny way of looking at it, you know what I mean? And yeah, those type of sets. This is I actually just made a video about this. Those type of sets are um the fursuit set. Those type of sets are just kind of shallow in terms of how it relates to magic. I mean, that's why Dragonstorm is doing well, right? People like the fact that it's like old magic, no? The librarians. I do remember being a bum when Dragon Maze was one of three sets released in 2013. Sucked waiting months for that disappointment. That is actually a good point, Brandon. I remember the same type of thing a few times. People were burnt out on masterpieces during a monkhet, an hour of devastation, because they found out it was going to be a permanent thing. Again, Mark Rosewater talking out of his ass. Everyone likes big dragons, dude. Well, yeah, that too, but it's also that's like a real set, a dragon set. Magic is totally about dragons. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I think that would sell well as well, but they have had almost all Eldrazi sets. Battle for Zendikar, Oath of the Gatewatch, and they sold well. Rise of the Eldrazi, Zendikar. No teasers for Final Fantasy apparently for Barra. What do you mean? Like, they're not going to do any teasers? And I gotta look at what's going on with the promo in Japan. I really hope that the promo card comes in like its own wrapper, like they have been doing for the promos, because then it'll be like a box topper. Because right, there's a chase version, the Force of Negation, and it's supposed to be super rare. Like, there's only 2,000 made. I think that's what I read. Eldrazi versus Aliens. MTG is banking on gimmicks for success rather than sound fundamentals right now. Gimmicks tend to burn out fast. I mean, look at the power creep. It's because of those gimmicks. It was on his Tumblr. It's a 1/3 chance from a pack. What's a 1/3 chance from a pack? I don't know what you're saying. Promo pack? Oh, the promo packs in Japan. So 1/3 of them is the Force of Negation. That means like there's not that many of those promos out there. Total. Like even the other one. because there's supposed to be 2,000 of them printed, right? Am I wrong about this? So it is going to be a promo pack though, which is sick. Like that makes that's a big thing about going to Japan and buying these boxes. Okay, just getting as many of those as I can. Regular promo, foil promo, special promo. All right, so it is okay. So the pool of cards is wider than just like the two promos. Regular promo, foil promo, special promo. So 2, 4, 6. If I could change things, I would go back to draft only with a lottery chance at true chase, like OG Zendikar. I agree. That was like optimal for everyone. Players had cheap cards because people were cracking boxes like crazy to pull them, and yeah, play boxes are collectors, so it's a buy a box promo. So if there are no collector boxes, I will be buying play boxes to get those promos. This is why I'm going to be bringing a wad of money to Japan. And again, I'm going to be making the opportunity for patrons to send me money and I will buy a box. If I can, I will buy a box for them with the promo. But this is only for patrons. And this starts at the most senior and highest level patrons. Tokyo is like the sprawl of it is pretty massive in scope. I have been there for a long time. Saga MTG community is great. Legacy is very popular. Can I just give you gold for some promos? This guy. That's a lot of foreign cards to get a promo. Why do you think I would buy the Japanese cards? I'm going to a big enough store that they will have English cards to buy. Um not gonna buy Japanese cards. Uh, Bob, I did not speak. How many times I gotta tell you? Congratulations on 5. I hit it tonight. I just opened a Legends pack because of the 5K TCG, dude. You missed it. Well, it doesn't matter. It wasn't that great. Okay, guys. I am my throat's getting sore. I have the flea market of the board. Oh really? Mine was revised, definitely. I was thinking whether it was revised or dark, but I'm like, no, the dark wasn't out. I remember when it came out. Um, it was very much like they were very close. Fun fact: my very first pack ever was a Legends pack. Yeah, my connection is dipping out too. Lost your sound. Well, guys, that's might as well be my cue, I guess. Thank you for coming by. 5K, kind of crazy that it happened today during a live stream day, so I could open that Legends pack. It was not great. Tomorrow I will be at the flea market, um, and I will be live streaming there. I don't know what time. 7:30 ish is going to be. All I uh is gonna be when I stream. Love you, bro. Say it back. Love you too. Okay. But anyway, guys, take care, and I'll catch you for the next one. This was a very fun break. I never got to open Darwin tournament packs. Remember, every month on Saturday, 8 p.m. ish. Today I had to do 8:15. I do my live streams. Uh, hmm. And so, yeah, catch you next month on the first Saturday of the month at 8 p.m. ish, and we will have yet another sick box break. I think we're gonna do Judgment, but we might do Invasion. Might do both. Maybe both. I mean, gonna try and raise some cash before Japan. And I got some sick stuff that I'm selling on Patreon right now, and only for right now before Japan. Otherwise, I'm taking it down for sale. Like stuff like flow wraps. It's only to raise money for Japan. So if you're not a patron and you want some of those flow wraps that you've seen, like yeah, now may be the time to check out the Patreon. Otherwise, yes. Take care. Have a lovely day. Peace.